I'm Siobhan Riley. The time is 6 a.m. on this Saturday morning, August 15th. Thank you so much for joining us. And right now we are going to go ahead and take a look at your weekend weather forecast with Fox 13 meteorologist Elizabeth D'Amore. And Elizabeth, it was pretty foggy on the way in this morning.
Yeah, we've got some low numbers across.
Fox 13 is your home for back to school coverage. In about 2 weeks, nearly 100,000 Shelby County school students will head back to school, but not in a traditional way. Yesterday, the district hosted a virtual learning demonstration. Fox 13's Dominique Dillon reports how SCS is getting prepared for students virtually. And if you have not picked up your digital devices, visit our website at fox13memphis.com for a link to places and times to pick up those items. While Shelby County schools aren't starting for another 2 weeks, the largest school district in Mississippi will begin on Monday. Students in the DeSoto County School District will start classes after a week delay. Students were able to choose between going to class or learning from home. The superintendent tells Fox 13 the school system has distributed digital devices to all the students who needed one. Germantown schools will also begin classes Monday. Face coverings will be mandatory for students learning in class. Inside the coronavirus data, the overall positivity rate has been 10.8% in Shelby County for 6 days. The county's active cases has fallen to its lowest level since July 3rd. The overall positivity rate in Tennessee has stayed at 7.2% for 8 days. In Mississippi, the 7-day average of new cases has dropped to 785. That is the lowest point in 1 month. Arkansas has seen a drop in the 7-day average for 6 straight days. The number of active cases is at the lowest level in a month. There is progress being reported in the fight against the coronavirus outbreak. The CDC warning we could be in for one of the most challenging fall and winter seasons, with the possibility of millions of new infections. Fox 13's Daryl Green explains. Redfield says schools should reopen at their own pace and that there has been no pressure from the White House or the CDC. Here is a little bit of good news. 3 Memphis Black-owned restaurants are getting a major financial boost. The Four-Way, along with 2 others, just won $25,000 from Discover's Eat It Forward program. Fox 13's Kirsten Garris talked with the owner of the historic Four-Way restaurant. From now until the end of October, people can nominate their favorite Black-owned restaurants for this award. And that is information that you can find on our website at fox13memphis.com. There are a lot of questions about what will happen to a historic church that was just sold. Community members are worried that it will be knocked down and turned into a gas station. Fox 13's Jackie Massey reports with both sides of this church site fight. The broker tells Fox 13 he plans on meeting with someone from the church near the end of the month. He emphasizes the plans are still in the early stages and they might even consider selling it. Dolly Parton is speaking out in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. After the break, why she says it's important to take action. But first, a family escapes from China during their height of the coronavirus cases just to get the virus here in Memphis. Ahead, Fox 13 speaks one-on-one with the family. Good Morning Memphis continues live after this.
Is Fox 13 News.
A Mid-South family is recovering from the coronavirus, but their story is unusual because of their journey. They evacuated from China months ago, only to test positive for the virus right here in the Mid-South.
I keep hearing that the virus only affects, like 1% of people, but 100% of people in my house have it.
Fox 13's Kirsten Garris talked one-on-one with the father, who says they're doing as well as can be expected. That was Fox 13's Kirsten Garris reporting. The father tells Fox 13 his 8-year-old is doing well and she's in the best condition out of everyone. They're all in quarantine for the next few weeks. Dolly Parton is making it clear she supports the Black Lives Matter movement. In an interview with Billboard magazine, the country singer addressed the protests against racism and police brutality sweeping the U.S. She has not attended the protests, but she voiced her support. Parton says she understands people needing to make themselves known, felt, and seen.
Is Fox 13 News.
There is a new level of uncertainty to the upcoming presidential election. The U.S. Postal Service is warning states voters may not get their ballots back to election offices in time. That is because of lags in mail delivery. The U.S. Postal Service has been plagued with problems for years, including debt. The Postal Service recently put in a variety of cost-cutting measures. It plans to remove hundreds of high-volume mail processing machines from facilities across the country.
Despite any assertions to the contrary, we are not slowing down election mail or any other mail.
Democrats want to protect the Postal Service by packing a coronavirus stimulus proposal with $25 billion. But with the stimulus talks at a standstill, it is not clear if any help will come. Good morning, Memphis. I'm Siobhan Riley. The time approaching is 7:30 on this Saturday morning. It is August 15th. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's go ahead and check in on your weather forecast with Fox 13 meteorologist Elizabeth D'Amore. Good morning, Elizabeth. Restaurants in the Mid-South have taken a beating from the coronavirus pandemic. But one restaurant in the Mississippi Delta has cautiously reopened its doors to a few customers at a time. Fox 13's Tom Dees visits one business that had a positive turn in reopening. COVID concern in Panola County, where Governor Reeves called the county out for its high transmission rate. The mayor says that it is because people aren't wearing masks and they are continuing to have barbecues and parties. He says he's concerned this might increase cases in the schools. In Panola County, there are almost 2,000 COVID cases with 18 deaths. Last Tuesday, Governor Reeves issued an order asking Panola and other counties to delay school for students in 7th to 12th grade. But even so, Reeves says he continues to see a high transmission rate.
We're going to be successful.
Panola County schools will start class Monday. Students will either learn virtually or in person. There's no end to the pandemic in sight, but Americans are back to shopping. A new Commerce Department report Friday says U.S. retail sales rose 1.2% after slumping to a 7-year low in April. Retail sales bounced back to their pre-pandemic levels in just a few months. However, the report showed gas stations, department stores, and clothing retailers are still operating far below normal. More small businesses in Tennessee will be eligible for financial assistance. Governor Bill Lee announcing the Small Business Relief Program will be expanded to include businesses with less than $10 million in annual gross sales that have been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. That includes mobile food services, wedding and event planners, florists, and more. It also includes retail businesses that saw a 25% or more drop in sales in the month of April. The program is set to give out more than $83 million. 1 in 3 children with COVID-19 were admitted to an ICU. That's according to an investigation by the CDC. They looked at the severity of COVID-19 cases in children in 14 states, including Tennessee.
Is Fox 13 News.
We're down to 80 days until the 2020 presidential election. But this week marked a significant campaign turning point after Joe Biden named his running mate. Meanwhile, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is speaking out on the president's remarks about Senator Kamala Harris. Thursday, President Trump called Harris a madwoman and implied she was ineligible to serve as vice president because her parents were born outside the United States.
He can't handle it.
Pelosi says Harris was the best choice Biden could choose as a running mate.
Is Fox 13 News.
Rapper Kanye West has picked up a petition to appear on the ballot in Tennessee. The Secretary of State's office confirming a representative from the West campaign appeared at the Nashville office to retrieve the paperwork. The rapper is running for president as an independent candidate. West has until next Thursday to turn in the required 275 signatures of registered Tennessee voters in order to appear on the ballot.